my delicious darlings. Today is the start of a beautiful week. Look at it, the sun's out. So get outside. If you can get outside, get outside. And this is a very special video I'm doing about yoga today. And I know I've done a couple of videos previously, and please catch up with those because I had enormous fun making them, and I really want you to have enormous fun doing them. And it was kind of playing with yoga, making it fun. Bringing it into games, making it an invitation for children, adults, all ages, all abilities, all budgets, you know, people in wheelchairs, people with different abilities. So it's very much about including everybody. This is the way I work. So today what I really want to do, because this is a very special video, all my videos are special because I love you lot, I really do. I hope you can feel it coming through your screens. But the reason this is particularly special is because this is a video which is going to appear on Anna Kennedy Online as part of the series of therapy articles I've been writing for her during lockdown and during Corona. And we had a wonderful autism expo at the weekend. Lots of people attended. That was really, really fab. So thank you, Anna, and thank you, Tally Nothi, as well, for all your organisation behind that. But I'm going to crack on now and tell you a little bit about yoga. And there's a very, very special lady I would like to mention today. She's very kindly sent me a t-shirt with Special Yoga, because it's Jyoti Jo Manuel, the founder of Special Yoga. She very kindly sent me a t-shirt, and one of my naughty sons, when they went back to Cornwall, has lifted it, shoplifted it. It's like living with kleptomaniacs. I have to nail everything to the floor. So my apologies, Jyoti. I'll be doing more yoga videos, and I will be proudly wearing your t-shirt then. There I am saying to people, send me t-shirts if you want me to advertise anything. And then I live with kleptomaniacs. So as soon as I find it, I am going to nail it to the floor, freshly ironed, ready for another yoga video in the future. But Jyoti Jo Manuel, I would like to give a special mention to, because I've done various yoga trainings throughout my career and my journey, both for myself personally, because yoga is very much about that, but also for all the children, adults, families, trainings I go and do with inset days, you know, bringing it into schools as part of all my Rainbow Kids therapies. But Jyoti Jo Manuel massively enriched my life, and she touches the lives of many others. And I have to say, out of all the yoga trainings I've ever been on, she's just amazing. She works very much like I do, meeting each person exactly where they are. And the training I did with her was for yoga, particularly for people with autism and ADHD. So it's been a fabulous, a bit like Mary with the story massage, Mary Atkinson, and how she enriched my work with touch. I really love to sing other therapists' praises from the rooftops, because if you can't get to me, or you're another therapist who wants to add to your skills, Jyoti Jo Manuel, Mary Atkinson, they're just wonderful people. And I think it's good we all celebrate each other. Anyway, I'm going to crack on now. So yoga, why is it so fantastic? Well, yoga is a superpower. And you know why? It's been researched and researched and researched. And actually, out of a lot of therapies, this one is really kind of accepted. Tiffany Field, the lady who I told you about last week, one of the leading researchers with touch, she's also done loads of scientific research into yoga. There are just some people you'd love to get round for tea and ask them to pass you the custard creams, so you can have a really, really good chat. She is one of those. Oh my God, I'd love that. We'd be talking for ages. Ages and I'd probably get an ASBO for talking too much and too loudly and getting excited, but there we are. Lovely Tiffany. And there's many others like her. Lots and lots of research has gone into this. And goodness me, where do I start? The benefits of yoga. It is absolutely fantastic for releasing the happy hormone, serotonin, from your tummy. Don't forget, 90% of our serotonin is made in the gut. It's really good for calming and balancing the nervous system, all your hormones, giving you a massive, like filling up, like drinking from an amazing fountain of happy hormones and coping chemicals to start your week and make your day wonderful. It also helps with sensory integration. Some of the, this one, which I learnt in Special Yoga actually, and which I was already doing in my massage, weirdly. This is how it flows. They all flow into each other. We're all doing the same, going from the same place. This one is fantastic for severely autistic people who actually don't know where their skin ends and outside begins. So that's a really good one. And down the legs too, pressing on the feet. And I'm sitting on a yoga mat. You don't need to have a yoga mat. You can do it in the garden. You could do it bare feet. I've got little flat shoes on. You don't need to have loads of special equipment. So again, it's really accessible. So it helps with sensory integration. It builds your resilience to stress. It eases depression, stress, anxiety, because it's balancing all your lovely happy hormones and bashing that cortisol, the enemy of the body, the stress hormone. We don't want that. So you're easing all that. It also helps with breathing and respiratory problems. So very often people, young adults who I've worked with who have Down syndrome, for instance, this is just an example, very often have an additional, a heart issue, unfortunately. So, they could get very bunged up. They find they have respiratory difficulties. So when I go in and work with anybody who has respiratory problems, yoga is a fantastic way to do it. If they can't really do a meditation that day because they can't breathe very well, or any mindfulness, this is a great way to boost that immunity, to open up the lungs. It does all of these things. So boosting immunity is massive at the moment. Also, a lot of kids with autism, ADHD, different abilities, because they live mostly on this fight or flight level, because they're born with much higher cortisol levels, stress levels, than neurotypical children. I really hate that word. I hate all these labels, but we have to talk in them, unfortunately. A lot of them are mouth breathers, meaning, now I normally breathe through my nose in and out, but some people, when you go into fight or flight, you're breathing very quickly in and out of your mouth. You're breathing shallowly. For people who are under fight or flight for a long time, they do something called reverse breathing, which is where instead of your tummy coming out when you breathe in, so your lungs go to full capacity, they're breathing in when they breathe in and out when they breathe out. I used to do it, and it was only when I did my training with Jyoti from Special Yoga, the founder, that I actually realised, lovely Dara, I love that woman. Oh my God, I hope you're watching, Dara, you are fab. She actually realised I was reverse breathing, and I must have been doing it for years. And it is indicative of somebody who's been through trauma or has gone through a prolonged period of stress, fight or flight. So within a few days, I taught myself to breathe normally. Occasionally, I still revert back when I get in a bit of a panic. That's okay. We're allowed that, but we want to get these kids. I always say to them, it's a superpower, your reverse breathing, but what would make it even more amazing if we could get you doing it the other way. So I do that. I've explained in another one of my videos about balloon breathing. Imagine they're blowing up a balloon. And so when they blow out, tummy's in, breathe in, tummy's out, and they blow up balloons. Or they do a teddy bear ride with a teddy on their tummies, or if they're a bit older, just their hands. Anyway, I've explained more about that in previous videos, so I'm going to get on with a few poses now to explain to you these absolutely wonderful benefits. It also brings you self-awareness, body awareness, awareness of your flexibility, and yoga should never hurt. If it starts to hurt, stop where you are, and you build up gradually. So you develop that flexibility. It helps with mental flexibility, because while you're exercising the body, even just the fingers, you're exercising left and right sides of the brain. So I could go on and on and on, and we'll end up with an hour long, we'll end up with a documentary. You don't want that, because you probably haven't got time, so I'm going to crack on. So the first one I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show you it seated and standing, because some kids are in wheelchairs. Some people have cerebral palsy. They don't have that mobility. So rooted like a tree is really lovely and easy. In some people call it a mountain pose. There's all different names depending on which age range you're working with. So for kids, young adults, people in wheelchairs, I always say to them, breathe in deeply through your nose and out through your mouth, and imagine lots of roots coming out of the bottom of your back and into the floor. And if I was doing this standing, then I would literally, you stand like this, like a mountain. And then it starts to get good. This is what I do. This isn't necessarily Jyoti. This is a blend of our work, okay? Because I like to blend things. My trainings, my experience with other people's things. So you're standing like a tree. And sometimes the kids come in to Rainbow Kids sessions and they're up here. They're all, you know, because they've had 6 hours of behaving. I'd be on the ceiling. I can barely manage 6 minutes of behaving, let alone 6 hours. I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, you've probably got the gist. So what I get them to do is bring their arms up like this and breathe in and imagine they're a big, big tree, and then to sway, just to sway like this. Because what you're doing here is you're pushing all those coping chemicals and happy hormones up from the gut, and you're expanding the lungs. And it's also a good way for the kids to have a good old fling away of what they haven't enjoyed at school that day, or what they have enjoyed. And then our trees turn to autumn trees. And we just shake our leaves out. And sometimes we call it shaking the sillies out, because it's good to be silly and have fun while you're doing all this amazing science to your bodies. You know, you've got to have fun with it. I never knew science could be so much fun. Sometimes I get them to shake their legs as well. Now, if got a child in a wheelchair, they can still do this. And actually, one of the poses that Jyoti taught me, well, Jyoti among others, but Jyoti was amazing. I keep singing her praises. She's an amazing woman. Is to do these, just to go like this sideways. And you know, if a child is in a wheelchair, they can do this. If they're not in a wheelchair, sit cross-legged on the floor, nice and straight. And just make sure you're breathing in through your nose all the time. It's not a race. It's not a competition. And that is absolutely opening up your diaphragm. So for the kids who are mouth breathing, this really is a good one to release everything that they've trapped in their second brains, where meltdowns come from, fear, dread, all of that. And it helps them to gently release that, release all the happy hormones and coping chemicals, but expand their lungs. So that is a really gorgeous one to do. I'm going to show you another one now. This involves lying down, so I hope I'm dignified. So this is called the reclining, we call it zigzag in Rainbow Kids, this reclining twist. So you make your body, like I always say, like a bolt of lightning, or the Harry Potter scar. And you have your arms out like this, and then you turn your head the opposite way to your legs. And that is opening up all the lungs, it's pushing up the serotonin, the happy hormone. And then because you've done one side, you have to do the other side. So get your body, get your arms out nice and straight, make your body like a little Z, like a flash of lightning, and you turn your head the other way. It stretches all the muscles in your neck, sends blood and oxygen up to the brain. So that's that one. Isn't it lovely? So easy. You can also do you know, headstands? If you're feeling particularly active, you could do a headstand. I'll spare you that today because I did it in one of my previous videos back along. So if you want to catch up on that one, feel free. It was slightly mad, but that's me. There's another one you can do. I'm going to do it sideways so you don't see my massive bottom in your screens, because nobody wants my bum in their face first thing on a Monday morning. That would be horrific. So I get the kids, I call it rock and roll. And again, I learnt this one with Jyoti as well. And you have your knees against your chest. Now, obviously, a child in a wheelchair, this would be difficult. But, you know, children who have mobility, or anybody, families, anyone of any age can do this. It's great fun. Maybe not on the floor of a pub or a restaurant, but, you know, it's great fun. In a park, why not? On the beach, in your gardens, in your living rooms, wherever you want, wherever you've got space, but outside is best. As much as you can. I've even done this one in the rain. I know that sounds mad, so refreshing. I loved it. And what this is doing, woo! My balance is a bit off today. What you're doing is, you are actually easing and releasing all the knotted up angst and worry and anger, and you're actually helping with the digestive system, because a lot of kids with who are severely autistic or not being supported. It is amazing how many digestive problems they have. Either they can't, it's either they call it elimination problems, meaning they're either holding on to what needs to come out, or it won't stop coming out and they haven't got a lot of control with it. So this actually helps to regulate the issues of surrounding elimination, toileting. And it also massages all your digestive organs. So what's that doing? Pushing up the serotonin everywhere I go. Serotonin. It's why I'm a happy little bunny, because I know all these ways to fill my body with serotonin. And if you make enough serotonin, you then have enough to make melatonin, which helps with sleep, mood, and aggression levels. Isn't it amazing? So that's why yoga actually helps with deeper and more restful sleep, just the same as touch does. You see, we're all singing from the same song sheet. So now I've displayed my bottom, we've got to close down, because after yoga, when you've done anything stimulating, you have to close down. So this is called it's either the child's pose. I call it, we pretend we're stones in a pond. We make stories with yoga, the Rainbow Kids and I. We'll pick a few cards, yoga cards, and we'll make a story, and then we act it out with yoga, because not everybody wants to tell stories, you know. So for dyslexic children, for example, to explore words in this way and build a yoga story together is fantastic. But I'll do another video about that another time. I'm getting really excited and going off tangent. So I'm going to close down now and give you some peace. So this is dead easy. Just put your head on the mat. See, I'm on my melatonin point there. And your hands behind your back on the floor. Palms up. And if you really, really want to help yourself, you can bring sound into it and hum. I get the children to do this. I say, imagine your eggs and something's hatching out. So they go in a round rock like this, or an egg, and then they hum. Sound is a massive part of yoga. Oh my God, I could go on and on and on. But the thing is, when you put sound into your body like that, you're actually rejuvenating and getting into all those cells, giving them a good car wash, resetting them and dropping the body to theta level, so that when you finish, you are in the rest and relax mode and you will have a really good night's sleep. Anyway, I'm going to stop there and I'll see you soon. Take care, darlings. Have a lovely week.